Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video with Tank Reaper today. And today what we're doing, well, we're playing World of Warships console. And today we are covering the Tier 3 Royal British Navy's HMS Hermes. The aircraft carrier for the British Navy at Tier 3. And I actually do like how the ship looks. She is pretty cool looking. I mean, I do have one question about the ship. How in the heck do they get the aircraft from down there up here? That is one question. I don't see no way of doing it unless if they do it at like a dry dock, but how in the heck would they do it if they're out in sea and they can't do that? And they need that aircraft from the really. Now, I'm not sure if that's a big question or not, but this ship, I mean, it's a cool looking ship and stuff like that, but that is a question I do have to ask. Like, how did they do it? There is no crane back here to actually do something like that. I don't know if other tier 3 carriers actually gets that, like a option of that. The Germans. I'm not seeing. Oh, actually no. Like there's a crane, and I do see something on the flight deck to help lower the aircraft down into the aircraft carrier for the Germans. So, okay, that's how the Germans do it. What about the Americans? What does the Americans have? Now, okay, the Americans are a little bit more worse at this debate, but there is a lowering system on the flight deck for the Americans. Maybe we have to look at the British again. Japan? The Japanese has one too, to lower their aircraft down into the flight deck. Yeah, okay, there's no other way for it. And what about the Russian Navy? Looks like they do have two areas to lower their aircraft down inside the ship. Okay, I guess that makes some sense for those ones. But what about the British? I don't see any. Or, oh wait, never mind. I do see it right about right there. Okay, okay. Now I see it, guys. I was just pretty much curious of how did they get the aircraft on the flight deck and how they get the aircraft down inside the ship. But now it all makes sense. They don't get to back there. They do it on the flight deck. So I guess the question's been answered. But we're going to be covering some of the stats of the ship in the port here, the commander and all of that, and take it out into a battle and see how she performs a little bit. So yeah, let's get right into it. My modifications I put on this beautiful British aircraft carrier is secondary battery mod 1. Secondary battery firing range is 10%, and secondary dispersion is 10%. This case, if a destroyer does somehow mandatory gets to you in the back of the map, your secondaries are definitely going to be opening fire on him. My second modification, I have air group mod 2. Bomber HP is 3% more, and torpedo bomber HP is 3% more as well. Because the HP for this aircraft carriers aircraft is not the best, but well, you just gotta make it do. It also has the upgrade, and then leads right into the Tier 5 British carrier, which I don't have it yet, but don't worry, we'll get it someday. The loadout, it gets HE bombers and torpedo bombers, as well as normally thought. We get a damage control party, consumer duration 60 seconds, reload time 90 seconds, unlimited of them. Of course, it activates on its own. You don't activate it, or do you? I haven't played an aircraft carrier in a while, so I don't remember. But that is a aircraft carrier's major thing that they need to use. And then the aircraft carrier gets a fighter squadron. A consumer duration 60 seconds, reload time is 40 seconds, and you get only 4 of these. They will only pop out when enemy aircraft is at least close by to your ship, so keep that reminder. And then the stats. Hit points of the ship is 33,200. The torpedo bombers hit points is 2,376. Max speed is 132 kilometers. Attack unit size 1. So meaningfully, when you attack, there's only one squad, one aircraft going down to the attack. Aircraft per squad 4. So you can attack 4 times, only 1 out of each 4 times. I'm hoping this makes any sense to you, to everybody who's watching this. The detectability range is 9.8 kilometers. Aircraft resistance time, restoration time. Can't freaking speak English. It's so hard, there, guys. You don't know how hard it is. It's 90 seconds. Maximum torpedo damage is 5,833. Torpedo speed is 42 knots. Yeah. I don't know what the heck I'm trying to say here. Torpedo range is 3 kilometers. And then you have your dive bombers. Dive bombers, hit points is 2,184, which is a little bit lower than the torpedo bombers, but okay. Max speed is 133 kilometers per hour, which looks like they're slightly faster than the torpedo bombers. Attack units, 1 squad, 4, typical of just like the torpedo bombers. Detectability range is 10 kilometers this time for the dive bombers. Aircraft restoration time is 80 seconds, a little bit less than the torpedo bombers. It looks like max bomb damage 3,535. Now it looks like the torpedoes does a little bit more damage than the dive bombers, but the dive bombers are more made for destroyers in somewhat ways and stuff, but the fire setting chance is 27%. So, okay. The artillery, which means the secondaries and all of that. The first secondary armaments is a 102 mm 45 Mark 5. Only gets 3 of these guns. Firing range is 3.9 kilometers. And reload time is 4 seconds. Max HE shell damage is 1,500. Firing setting chance is 8%. Your secondaries are your 140 mm 50 BL Mark 1. You get 6 of these. Firing range is 3.9 kilometers. Reload time is 5 seconds. Max HE shell damage, or why is it a shell? It's actually a bomb. Or actually, yes, it is a shell. Never mind. Don't comment on that. It is 2,000 damage of these ones, and firing setting chance is 10%. I guess I was thinking about bombs. I don't know why. Your AA, which you only get 1 anti-aircraft gun on this aircraft carrier, which is 102 mm 45 Mark 5 guns. You get only 3 of these. Average damage per second, 9. Firing range is 3.6 kilometers. Now your speed of your ship is 35 knots. Your turning circle radius is 750 meters, and rotor shift time is 9.6 seconds. Your detectability range by sea is 11 kilometers. Detectability when the ship is on fire is 13 kilometers. Your detectability range by air is 7.5 kilometers, and when the ship is on fire from the air is 10.5 kilometers. And ground detectability range is 2 kilometers. Now let's talk about the armor, and I'm going to show you what the Citadel is, so that way if you're fighting against these, you know where to hit at the Citadel as well. The bottom fore and aft armor, well, this is the first bit of the armor. The bottom is 20. Oops. The fore end deck is 25. Fore end plates is 16. The fore end armor belt is 76. The fore end athwart ship is 13. The bottom again is also 20. Aft end deck is 16. Aft end plates are also 16. Aft end armor belt is 76. Aft end athwart ship is 13. Side plates are 16, which is, but you can see what they're glowing. And then bottom plating are 20. Torpedo side, not torpedo side, top side plates are 10, and side plating is also 10. The athwart ship is 13, bottom 20. Athwart ship is also 13. Armor belt 16 to 76, and deck is 10 to 13. So that's the whole length of the ship of the deck. To double more. Deck is 13 to 25. We went again too much. Athwart ship is 13, and plating is 13 to 76. the citadel of the ship, which, like I said, I'm going to show you where the citadel is. The citadel bottom is 20. The citadel armor belt is 76. The citadel deck is 16. The citadel athwart ship is 13. Citadel torpedo bulkhead is 16. And the citadel athwart ship is 13. So we'll show you where the citadel sits, so that way you sort of would have a knowledge of where to hit the ship at. So it doesn't really get a huge citadel, like for example a massive citadel, but it does get one that sits sort of a little bit above the water, as you can see right there. If you aim where the command towers are, or is that where's the command tower? Yeah, I guess you could say that. If you aim right there, you will probably hit it. If you hit it at the waterline, you definitely will hit it. But if you hit right there in the middle of your oh my gosh, I forgot what the name is called for again. The command center, this spot will definitely, you more likely will hit its citadel as well. So keep that in mind, mate. It's sort of at the waterline, except at one spot. So if you have to look at this a little bit longer, put the video on pause so that you know where to hit the ship at. But that's the citadel of the Royal British carrier. I mean, after all, it's a carrier. It's going to get that freaking citadel. Let's talk about the commander I have for it, which is only one commander. His normal perk he gets is under the radar. Error detection range is 2.5%. I get put no fly zone. Your ship's average AA damage per second is 6. Your ship's AA guns firing range is 3% more. I mean, you could use swatting at flies, or contact is impracticable. Put stronghold. Incoming damage to your aircraft carrier is 2% less, so you're going to be taking 2% less damage. But if you don't want to go for that, you can go for the one-way ticket. Torpedo damage is 1% more. I put hidden threat. Torpedo bomber detection range is 2%, and torpedo bomber's HP is 4% more. I mean, if you want to go ahead and go for dive bombers, you go right ahead. This is how I built my ship, but if you want to go for like a dive bomber kind of build, you could do that. Or if you want this, on alert, rudder shift time 1%, and showing a warning indicator for incoming long range enemy fire. Again, if you want that. But me, I'm probably going to stick with torpedoes for this area. Next area is burn baby burn. Chances of aircraft carriers, HE bombs, or secondaries causing fire is 2%, and aircraft carriers, HE bombs damage is 1% more. I mean, with a commander with higher levels, will definitely make it better. But that is something I do use just in case if I do want to use my HE bombers on something. Or if you don't want that, if you want to go look at me now, see detection range, make your ship a little more stealthier, is 2%. Whatever one you want to pick for. This is my option, and at the end of the day, it's your option wherever you want to pick for. But my legendary perk, the Volt, bombers HP 1%, torpedo bombers HP is 1%. Again, you're going to want to make sure at least you get a little more HP on your aircraft. Or if you want to go fully pack, I mean, cooldown timer for all consumables, well, for mine 0 because I don't have a high ranking commander, but and consumable charges is 1%, and cooldown timer for all consumables 30 seconds. But this is a special effect. Ally has to be at least 1.5 kilometers in range. But this is my build for my captain. I don't have him as a high enough rank yet to put anybody else to support him, but I'm trying to work on him a little bit at a time. But you know what, guys? I think that's probably enough of to talk about this ship in the port. Let's take her out. We'll see what she could do in that battle, guys, and I'll see you guys in the open waters. See you guys there, guys. So we're back, guys, on Northern Waters, and this was, well, I don't want to spoil it for you, so you're just going to have to watch to the end. This was almost, Yeah, I really don't want to say anything, but I do want to say it, but I don't want to spoil it for you guys how this battle was and stuff. But I mean, you can see how beautiful the ship does look. It does look beautiful. And if you're any kind of aircraft carrier player that likes your aircraft carriers and also know what you're doing, um, or if you're new at aircraft carriers, and I could probably give you some of the tips. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a pro at this, but I always start out with torpedo bombers. Simply to do the maximum damage on my torpedoes. At least try to get there with the torpedo bombers and stuff. Now, aircraft carriers do sit back of the map just like in World Tanks with artillery, SPGs and stuff on World of Tanks. But, well, unlike World Tanks, aircraft carriers cannot hit you in one shot, yeah. But I don't know, could they? I mean, they can citadel a cruiser, depending on which aircraft carrier you're having and stuff. I haven't seen an aircraft carrier one-shot somebody yet, but hopefully that doesn't come true. But what I'm doing right here, right now, I just wanted to try to spot some of the enemy ships. So that way my team can start either shooting at them, especially the battleships. We only have one ship on the enemy team spotted, which is the Ichishi, Tier 3 Imperial Japanese battleship. Yeah, that's a... Well, I think I already did ship review on that. And we get 4 more spots, it looks like. Well, 2 cruisers and another battleship, which is the Gallo Caris. It's a Italian ship, and we spot something else. Not sure what did we spot, but okay. You're probably wondering why I'm staying out of their anti-aircraft guns firing range. Is because I want to keep them spotted for my team. Hopefully my team can start hitting them pretty hard. Yeah, my squad is spotted, but if I go any closer, my squad here is definitely going to be wrecked by the amount of anti-aircraft guns are on them. Because there is 2 cruisers, there is 2 battleships, and there's a battleship way on the other side of that island right there. But I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about a little bit about this flank, hoping it doesn't collapse on me. That's the big downside of a carrier, worrying about the collapse. Next, my team to focus fire on the Omaha, because it is a ship with sitting on the water with citadels. If you're firing AP at it, especially with a battleship caliber of guns, Omahas are very weakly armored with citadels. Now I'm thinking about actually picking him to going in for a torpedo run, because he kind of isolated himself, and I don't see no anti-aircraft guns firing off his ship. So that means he turned off his AA guns, does it? Yes, it does. But there is other ships that does have their AA guns turned on. And I do hit him with 1, so I do get 5,000 damage, but this torpedo run is not as good, so I didn't decide to actually do anything. I could have dropped my torpedo, but it would have not done anything. It would have went on the other side of the ship and just completely done nothing at the time. So I decided, okay, let's go back up in the air. And I realized somebody knocked out my other aircraft, so I only have 1 torpedo bomber left, and I'm going for the Gallo, well, the Italian battleship. This is actually a pretty good player right here. He knows what to do. Though it doesn't seem like it right there, because he does slows down, but my torpedo was dropped too early, so it was a ghost torpedo for him. Sadly for me, but good side for him. Well, I'm bringing out some more torpedo bombers. I do see this Ichishi, if I'm even butchering the name, I'm so sorry, Japan. I am trying my best. I do see the Homo over there, but I want to support this cruiser against the battleship, because that is a Imperial Japanese cruiser against a battleship. But, well, yeah. I see how this flank is, and I see how the other flank is, and I mean, it looks like we are definitely going to be winning this. We did knock out 2 of the ships. It looks like their carriers definitely knocked out. So I own Supreme over the carrier area, and they have 1 cruiser knocked out. So not sure which cruisers knocked out of theirs. But this is the only sad thing about the British, uh, well, Tier 3 carriers aircraft. That was just a ghost show, or not show, but ghost torpedo, due because I dropped it too early. And I don't want to make the same mistake, so now I'm trying to fight a little bit more away. So that way my next run can actually be a dropped torpedo to do some damage. That cruiser dropped some 2 torpedoes in the water as well. It looks like maybe one of them at least is going to be good. Nope, none of those torpedoes are going to hit. So this time I'm aiming a little bit forward of the battleship, hoping that this torpedo could register and before it hits the M, and it does. It crits him as well. I'm not sure why it crits on him. So I'm up to 9,000 damage. Not the best, but you know, I'm not trying to be. Well, at the beginning of the game, I was trying to keep them spotted so I don't get my aircraft knocked out of the sky. He does have his AA on, so smart idea, smart choice. We drop this torpedo, hoping it does hit. Will it hit him? Yep, it does, and it kills him. So I recall that dive torpedo bomber, so I started out wanting to use my dive bombers. See how these things work. Now, unlike the torpedo bombers, these do drop at least, I think, like 3 to 4 bombs at a time. So that's a lot more wonderful, but it's still a one aircraft goes into attack mode. So do keep that warned. But we are down a good bit of ships, but they're only down 3 ships. Who should I go after? This cruiser, or should I go after that Italian battleship? Wherever he's at over here. I want to see if I could hit somebody. With this, the Italian battleship, way back there. It looks like we're still going to be winning this. We're up around 200 points. Or actually, no, 100 points lead, not 200. I don't know why I'm thinking 200. And I'm picking this cruiser to hit. And will we have one bomb hit? Yep, one bomb hits. It catches him on fire. No Citadel, sadly. I think only maybe the Germans can get that Citadel hit. Now, don't do what I did right there. I accidentally went through 2 clouds of smoke like that. Do not go through those because that does a lot more damage on your aircraft. And I'm coming in with another dive bombing run. And we do hit him once, but no fire, sadly. And we only have 1 aircraft left. I pulled that one back. And because of my auto pilot or auto drive or whatever you want to call it is disabled because I start turning myself. They only have 2 ships left, a cruiser and a battleship. We should definitely win this, right? Yeah, we should. Hopefully. I mean, well, will we win this or will this be a defeat? You guys are just gonna have to keep on watching. So I'm deciding to go over here, help this cruiser out. Cruiser, I mean Allied battleship to take out this cruiser. At first I thought he was capping, so I was thinking maybe help him defend the cap, but it doesn't look like he's doing it anymore. He might have just was doing it to go get the battleship, the Wyoming. So I'm deciding to push forward. Again, I went right through the smoke, but good thing it was not 100% there. It was dissipated a little bit. Drop my bombs. And I do get a hit, but doesn't look like it did any damage to him. It only hits his rear of his ship. Yeah. And that guy does hit him with all of his torpedoes subtly, so it takes out Wyoming very low in hit points. And the Wyoming is very low on his hit points. Now I'm coming in for another dive bomb. The battleship hits him, but suddenly the battleship dies as well. I think the battleship must have hit his Citadel at least. And now is 2 versus 1. And it's that Italian battleship over there. So that is going to be a big thing. And this aircraft doesn't have its speed anymore. So I kind of want to go up here. I don't know why I wanted to go that close. But I don't know, is it a good decision to do that? Or is it a bad decision? Because this battleship is going over that way. And if he does take us out this Wyoming, well, we are definitely going to be screwed because we are only a carrier. We... Oh. Wow. Just opened up my big mouth. And yes, the Wyoming is dead. And I am the only player on my team. And you know, guys, we're definitely up on... Yeah, still 100 points lead. But if we could stay alive... And because we have 2 of the caps, and because I am a carrier, I kind of dropped these bombs too late, late actually, whatever you want to say, we could still win this. So, my big decision brain decides to launch torpedo bombers. But instead of going for capture zone A, I'm going to go over this way, and as long as he thinks my aircraft is coming from A, then probably he'll be going over that way, so maybe he will actually, you know, try to find me. Think he's going to find me over there at A. Now we're definitely at 200 points ahead. They're only at 550, we're at 710. And because I'm an aircraft carrier, I can launch aircraft and don't have to worry about getting my actual ship hit by his main batteries. So that's something I want to keep an eye out. But I'm watching where he's at. And I wasn't anticipating one thing. I did seen it. And I don't think it was his. It was someone else's maybe. Or it might be his. I'm not real sure. But there's fighters right there. No, I wasn't anticipating that these things would do what they do. And you're probably already guessing what that is. I thought that they like crash landed in the water. So I'm coming in for a torpedo bombing run. For the battleship because he has only one way to turn, and I'm started getting hit. And as then as AA, all my aircraft got taken out by fighters. Yeah, I was not anticipating that those fighters would do that, but I guess they would have still done it. I don't know if those were his or if they were just a random ships. But we're definitely ahead, still at 100 more points than the enemy team. We are definitely now 200 points ahead of the enemy team, as long as we keep on going towards the other side where the capture zone C is at. We're definitely going to win this. Now, I will admit that I think at this moment of being 1 versus 1, carrying my team's victory on my shoulders was definitely making me think not the best thoughts. My heart was pumping. I was thinking, how can I win this with my team? The only thing I could think of is staying alive. But I still want to use aircraft to ignore this player. At least make him think this aircraft carrier is going to do something. My first torpedo run. Let's make this good. Let's see if we can hit him. Drop it. Is this going to hit? Again, he doesn't have no AA on. That misses, sadly. Okay. Either I was thinking he either has his AA turned off so way he can go being back in stealth, or most of his anti-aircraft guns were knocked out during the fight. I have no clue. But here comes this torpedo bomb. Torpedo. This guy, he's a pretty decent player. Especially when he starts moving. He's making me double think of how to hit him. And he is capturing the point. But we're still up at least another 100 points. As long as my ship stays alive, we could still win this. Even if I don't do any more damage, I am fine with a victory. Because my heart was racing at this moment. Again, he turns and dodges that torpedo. And like I said, either my heart, because of like me just trying to pull a victory for my team, was just trying to rush these torpedo runs. And this one was definitely a rushed one. I knew this wasn't going to hit. I knew this wasn't going to do anything. At least. And I bring up some dive bombers, but you know, I really don't think I have enough time to actually do anything because I've seen the timer when I get these get out the map. I was like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna have enough time to get over there and do any more damage. 16,000 damage is not bad, but it's not the best for being an aircraft carrier player. But this was a massive game that I didn't want to let my team down, and we were head of points, and we still get a victory. That's all that counts, right? Yeah. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you guys want to. And like always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye for now.